Look at this beautiful face
Thank
right
you.
here. Handsome devil.
Dressed up today.
Dressed up to the nines.
Thank you.
Collared.
I love moving. That's the biggest thrill from moving from TV to radio so many years ago is that this now constitutes dressed up. I don't have on shorts and flip-flops or wearing a hat.
Right. I always enjoy when we do Beat the Brains because you always have like you bring kind of a selection from your
You like
wardrobe.
that? Yeah, I go through.
I enjoy like where when we'll tape like multiple episodes in a row and then you'll come back in with a different outfit.
You like that? You took note of that. Well, that's the first I've heard of it.
Feels
I'm glad.
like I'm on like a fashion show.
Good. I'm glad that you've been noticed. Still never seen a minute of Beat the Brains, but I hear it's a good show. Yeah.
People love it.
I hear it's a good show. Not a good show would be what the Jacksonville Jaguars put on yesterday.
It was a type of show. I can't say that word because it's a profanity, but it certainly was a type of show.
A sugar show. Yeah. And for those of you that don't like to curse, it'd be a sugar show.
Boy.
It was a sugar show, and it was so disappointing because of, and we kind of pounded this home, you got extra time to prepare for this game.
Yeah.
Now let's think about the two games this year that you've had the most time to prepare for.
Sure.
The season opener against the Chiefs.
Plenty of downtime, plenty of prep time.
And then the bye week. You're coming off the bye week against the Colts, a game that you know you have to have.
Right.
After another game that you knew you had to have against Houston, which you lost.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you. It's a bad team. We've tried to keep the faith. This is not a team that's going to go on any kind of run. It's just a mediocre team whose quarterbacks got better, but the rest of the team got worse. And so, we've said NFL teams don't get better, they get better quarterbacks. This is almost a better example. If this team right now didn't have quarterback play, they would be 1-9. They'd be 1-9.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, because they pulled out wins with Minshew Magic over the Bengals. They pulled out a win. I guess they beat the Titans, but there are a couple more games that they may very well have lost.
Right.
Without better quarterback.
Imagine this team with like Tanner Lee, their quarterback,
or Bortles even, whoever.
Whoever.
But at the end of the day, I'm going to stand by this too. And I got into a little bit of quibble with Tony Baselli this morning over the semantics. But I'll say it. I'll continue to state it this way. And as it turns out, the 2017 team was a fraud. We're not that team. We're not a generational defense who's going to play defense and run the ball. We have not been that. And
they had a season where they played like that. But,
they had one season where they played like that. And now we just learned that it was just an aberration like 2007 was. And so, in January of 2018, we walked off the field in Foxborough claiming to have arrived and be this team. And here we are in November of 19, and we certainly are not. We're right back to the Browns, Bengals, Lions, where we've been, quite frankly, most of our existence.
Todd says 4-4 with a 6th-round rookie is a good story. Sadly, that'll be the high point.
Yeah.
Probably so.
And look, it's disappointing, especially this year, because it's so gettable. The two teams that lead our division are 6-4. And not all that great.
No.
The two teams that lead our division, one of them lost 41-7 yesterday.
Right.
But the difference is Houston can lose. If the Jags lost 41-7, it'd be the first of 6 in a row.
Right.
Houston will bounce back from 41-7 because they're not despondent. And I can just sense with every passing day just the air being sucked out of Doug Marrone. With the energy and there's just nothing there.
He sounds like a broken guy.
It's just like we've just cycled through all of the explanations and rationalizations and excuses and hopes, and we're just is what it is. We're just not any good.
Not a good team.
Very frustrating to watch because, look, even the losses early in the year, except for the Kansas City game, we're in the game. Right? I mean, right down to the end at Carolina before we lost. What was another loss that we had? Until these last two. Right. But these last two games, we've not even competed, man.
Right. The only game they really got blitzed in was Kansas City.
Right.
The other games were...
Until these two.
Competitive to a point. But this has been these last.
Houston went on the road at Houston early. That was a close game. We played the games we lost. Houston and Carolina were close games. And
these last two.
Somehow now we can't even compete.
These last two, man. Houston kicked their ass in London, and they got just absolutely blitzed yesterday.
Yeah,
it was gross. It was gross yesterday.
Yeah,
it wasn't fun to watch. It wasn't enjoyable. There wasn't anything outside of the touchdown pass to DJ Chark early. That was a beautiful play. The rest of the game was just trash.
Yeah, and it's very hard to get optimistic about this trip to it looks like now the division is going to be a 3-team race, and Tennessee, Houston, and Indianapolis can decide it with their round robin. And we'll do the Jag thing, and we'll lay down in the street and get run over like a possum, and and proceed to go. What are we now? 4-6. We'll be 4-7. Probably want to go 6-10, and have excuses and reasons why we weren't good enough. Well, Foles got hurt early, and we got hurt at line. But no, this team is not constructed good enough. Every single person who's employed down there, I'm sure, is going to be nervous these last 6-8 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, so. And rightfully so. Not saying I'm calling for anybody to be fired, but based on the historic performance the last couple of years, and the number of second and third chances these guys have gotten, seems to be running out of lives.
Reading some of the comments here, and the defense remains disappointing. You're right about that. The defense is more disappointing than all. And, that was the most shocking thing from what happened to 2017 to now. The defense in 2017 looked like it had some staying power.
Yeah.
Right? It was a young defense. It got after the quarterback. Points. It was scoring touchdowns.
Right.
Telvin Smith and Yannick Ngakoue and Dante Fowler Jr. And these guys are running all over the field making plays. And just one by one, those defenders have either left or been dispatched. And now, quite frankly, it's a below-average defense that's 29th in the league against the run. And there are no good teams in the NFL that are 29th against the run.
No, well, I mean, the good news is at least they don't, on deck, have an opponent with a running back that has run well against them in the past. Oh, wait, they do.
Ouch.
Yeah. Like you said, Derrick Henry sitting there licking his chops, just waiting.
Let me ask you this. If I put the over-under of 120 yards next Sunday, what would you bet?
I'd play the over.
I'd play the over.
Yeah, I'd play the over.
Yeah, here's a little tip for all you FanDuel players. Play Derrick Henry next week.
Yeah.
Out.
Love you, Gugas.